Okay, this is video number 4, which is an introduction to toolpaths. So we are going to, just like the last video, I'm going to go through all the bits that are on the toolpath side, and that would be most of the important ones. I'll skip over some of the others. An alarm going off. Okay. Material setup set. Right. Thickness 18. Now that will be filled in from the job setup over here, so you shouldn't have to go near that. That's fine. No, doesn't matter. Yes. Now the main thing that I would like everyone to set up is the Z1 clearance, and that is the height that the tool will go above the material as it's going between between cuts, right? I believe as standard that comes out at 5 mil, which is very close. Okay, so if, for example, you accidentally put in the material thickness at 9 mil, and then you go to do some 22 mil programming, but you forget to change it back, what it will do is between cuts, it will actually be still in the material. It'll be dragging across, which might do some harm to the tool, because the speed in which the tools go between sheets is likely way too fast for the tool. It could probably break the tool or damage the tool, or something like that. So if you set that to 15, you should be fairly safe in that if you put something in wrong. And then just obviously when you make a new set of programs, just to sit and watch the machine as it does the first sheet, just to make sure that it's all working right. You'll know fairly quick if it's going too deep anyway. But at least if you have this set to 15, you won't be doing any harm. And that's that's kind of all you have to know for in there. And you can also quickly just check it up here if you ever get wondering. It has the main information there. Okay, so toolpath operations. There's a few of them that we use, and there's more of them that we don't. So the three main ones are profile, pocket, and drilling. Okay, I'm actually going to draw a square for this, and I will also draw some circles for this as well. Let me just draw them here. Let me just do something like that. There's no dimensions on them, but let's just imagine that they're holes for hinges. Okay, so I'll start with profile. Okay, you got a lot of stuff going on in here now. I'm going to go through it briefly. I'll go down as far as here on this, and then the rest of it is stuff that can be figured out while actually working the machines. So start depth is always set to 0. Never do anything else, right? Cut depth, that's how deep you go relative to the top of the material. So we put in 18 mil. That cut depth then is 1 mil into that 18 mil. Okay, so let's just say, for example, I just want to cut this out, right? I need to select the right tool I want to use. Okay, and in here I'll pick 10 mil, right? That's the normal one we use, right? I won't go into setting up tools until probably when we're setting up a machine or something. There's no real need at the moment. But for practicing purposes, you should go in here and just create a couple of tools. Play around with the settings. You can delete them after. There's no harm. Okay, so I'm going to go select now 10 mil. Select that. So now we have our 10 mil end mil, right? And let's just say I want to go down 18.3 to cut it out. Right. In reality, you will actually go down you'll probably go down 17.5 on a first cut, and you'll do that to all your parts, and then your final part you'll do another tool path again, which will go over it again at the final cut, and that will be set to 18.3. But just for this purpose, we just assume we don't need to do that. Right. So 18.3 deep. Now, so a profile toolpath is a operation whereby the tool will follow something that you tell it to follow. So in this case, I'm going to select the square. Okay, now the square is selected. If I press calculate down the bottom, it will then put the tool onto that. Okay, now there's three important ways, three ways that the tool can go in relation to the square or circle or shape, right? And it's important to know which ones are which, right? So outside, and it shows a little image here, it will literally go outside the square. Inside will go inside the square, and then on will do it directly on top, right? We're cutting out carcass parts. We already made it to the size we want it to be, so we're going to set that to cut on the outside. Okay. Direction. So there's two ways it can go around. That's conventional milling. So it'll start and it'll go this way. That's conventional. Conventional means that it pulls the material away from the board as it's cutting. And then there's climb, so which would mean it's going the other way, and that would be like climbing. So it'll be kind of digging into the board as it's cutting. We've found, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but we found that conventional milling does leave a slightly better edge, so we always use that. Okay, so we pick our tool. We've told it how deep we want to go. We've told how we want to go around the line, and we've selected. Right, so I'm going to press calculate, and that's just giving me a notification that we're cutting in. That's correct. We'll always cut into the sacrifice sheet or the spoil board by 0.3. And now you can see that there is a little toolpath kind of square put on the outside, just so you can visualize what's after happening. Okay. If I hit inside and then calculate, it will go on the inside. If I hit on and calculate, it will go on the line. For whatever reason, you might want to use them. Okay. So we'll go outside again. Now, there's one other thing to know is an offset. Sometimes you might want to use an offset. Okay, so I'm going to offset this by 10 millimeters. So it'll use the square, but the tool will actually cut 10 mil away from the square. If I make that 100 mil or 110, calculate, it will go outside. Okay, well in this instance, we just wanted to do 0. Okay. And the rest of that stuff is stuff that we'll explain later on. Ramps, leads, the order, start point, what to do in corners. It's no bother. So I'll close that. Now, what we can do is we can go into 3D view, and you can see what's there. There's preview toolpaths down here. I'm just going to straighten the sheet. I'm going to go preview visible toolpaths. So there you go. It's a simulation of what's going to happen. And what you can do is you can double click on the waste such that you're left with the last part. Okay, so I'm just going to reset the preview. Go back there, just look directly top down. Cool. Very good. Okay, I'm going to skip profile just for or pocket just for the second, and I'm going to go to drilling. Drilling was very simple. So you select a drill. Under drills, I have a 3 mil drill, I got a 5 mil drill. My holes are 5 mil, so I want to drill them. Select that. I wanted to go, let's just say 19 mil deep, just to make sure that it's going deep enough. I can then select my circles and press calculate, and again just give me a warning that it's going through. That's fine. And if you zoom in, you can see the little X that signifies that's where that's going to go. And then we got our drill down here as well. So I'm going to go back into simulate. I'm going to select the two. Maybe I want to do the drilling first. I just drag it and move it up. Preview visible. And there's my two holes. I'll double click the waste. We'll zoom in there. Yeah. Now, if this was carcass, you probably wouldn't want to drill through. Maybe you would, maybe not. But if I wanted to change that, I just go into the drill tool path. I'll change that to, let's say, 12 mil. Press calculate, close. Go into simulate again. Reset the preview. And preview visible. Yeah, now you can see the holes aren't gone through. That's why simulation is good. It allows you to see what you're about to cut out. And I'd always recommend checking out every job you do through a simulation just to make sure that it's doing the right thing for you. It's very powerful to be able to see that. Okay, so I'm going to just delete them drill holes. I'm going to delete this drilling operation. I'm actually going to just create a little door, for example, inside here, right? 60 in. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to do a pocket toolpath. Okay. So, very simple, right? Let's just say I'm doing doors. I want to go 7 mil deep. I'm going to do a square shaker here now. The simplest door you can do, right? All you need to do is select two tools. Your main tool for doing the pocketing. And then I'm going to pick